15 ain't easy, unless you're watching me. Welcome back! You're watching the Thrift Store Rundown, bringing Hollywood home on a budget, and all this week, we're having a movie night light. It's an indoor movie night that keeps costs down while keeping nostalgia and memories way up. Have you ever heard the expression, spring coming in like a lion and going out like a lamb? Well, that hasn't been the case around these parts. So to fix that, I decided to bring in one of my favorite lions, Leo, mascot of the venerable Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer Studios, which has produced many a fine silver screen and small screen classic for that matter over its 100 years of whcih artis, art for art's sake in Latin. Why couldn't they go with that instead of a century of entertainment? Hey, if I was doing the marketing for them, that would have been my first call. It's in their Latin subtitle, for crying out loud. If you don't know much, if anything, about MGM Motion Pictures and how they make great movies, I suggest you take their screen test. It's Imagination's DVD movie trivia board game with an interactive DVD and hundreds of real movie clips and sound bites and questions that pertain to MGM classics. Gone with the Wind, Wizard of Oz, Rocky, the Amityville Horror, Legally Blonde, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, shall I go on? Above and beyond the DVD, it also contains 1 level dice, game board, rule sheet, and 4 player tokens. This game is for 2 or more players ages 13 on up and was purchased from Red Rider Blue Thrift Store in Patterson for $1.99. By the way, this is a TSI exclusive. No one else has ever reviewed this on YouTube before. I feel like such a Hollywood insider breaking into the scene. This is your gameplay instruction manual, and gameplay structure overall is extremely simple. Still, we give you 10 seconds to give this a good glance. There you go, 10 seconds. An additional few seconds to go over the 8 categories here. A random category, which is where you select a question from the other 6 barring outtakes. The other 6 here, starstruck, guessing the hidden actor or actress. Take 2, what happens next? Script test, finishing the famous line, quote, crib, etc. Showtime, general movie trivia, spotlight specific movie knowledge, basic, advanced. Now showing, identify the movie and outtakes, wildcard moves that can help or hurt a player at any time during the game. And the challenges do vary not just in difficulty, but also visually and audibly. There are many picture challenges from film stills to posters, black and white and in color. Hey, MGM was one of the great musical studios of our time too, in black and white and full color talkies. They also vary audibly with sound bites and soundtracks. Now for the game board. It's quite simple, and upside down, I'll fix that. The 8 categories are all outlined for you, half on each side, this being a 2-fold game board. And gameplay will go in this direction for how many players that you have ready to play. We also have here your levels dice. Now this serves 2 purposes. To determine the level of difficulty that each contestant must select when going over a category. 1 easy, 2 medium, 3 difficult, hard. And we also have here 4 stands. Everything contained in this small plastic bag. The 4 stands here for these 4 character movers. A film wheel, your start sign, your slate, director slate or clapper board, and your classic MGM camera. A Panavision lookalike camera without the Panavision branding. I assume it's 35mm. Hey, we like our IMAX in 4K and 3D, what have you, but 35mm is best for the purists. All of this wouldn't be possible without the DVD, which does pop out in my case in this cover. But it did play well, splendidly on my PC-ROM, so what's to say it won't hurt your DVD player? Anyway, gameplay goes a little something like this. So pay attention, especially considering that this is the first YouTube review of MGM's screen test. Whoever bought the game goes first and will handle the DVD player, or PC-ROM in my case, for gameplay. So, contestants will roll the level size to determine what category they will select, and the number of spaces to move forward to answer a question from whatever category they land on. If they get a question right from any of the categories they land on, they move a certain number of spaces again. And that will go until one player is the first to reach the end screen test space, right here. So I told you gameplay, as far as overall structure, is quite simple. But it is lovingly varied. This is so much to play. As a matter of fact, some people actually compare this to a knockoff version of SceneIt. Hey, if it was a knockoff version of SceneIt, it would have been from a third-rate third party. Imagination Gaming, as far as I can tell, doesn't do anything third-rate. Even though I've only done one SceneIt review, Friends SceneIt. I'll link that below if you're interested. And you ought to be. Hello, loves. Hello. This, in my view, is a pretty roaring substitute. And it gets 4.5 out of 5 claps. Will you pass the screen test? I don't see any reason not to. After all, if you want your movie night game light to come in like a lion and come out the same, Leo's waiting, and I doubt any of you will be able to resist his call for this fairly wild game. Although you might be able to resist that mock Leo war. Sorry, next time, I'll let the pro handle it. That's MGM's screen test. Here's Wednesday's coming attraction. And as Starfire of Teen Titans would say, I invite you to experience the togetherness of a stay-home movie night with popcorn and candies, cotton and non-cotton alike, and... Hold on. I'm actually getting a text from a hot sister Blackfire right now, telling me to forget the flicks and go out. Thanks for tuning in. Just so you know, there's no limit to bringing Hollywood home on a budget. Please go ahead and check out another awesome review like this one by clicking here, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here. Until next time, I'll catch you, as I always do, on the flip side.